Hey guys, I know that some other scopers are on right now, but I promised my 3-year-old and my 4-year-old that they could help me scope some before they go to bed, and bedtime is coming. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop on and do this, and hopefully some folks can catch it on the replay, which is totally fine. Hope you guys are enjoying Allison's scope and some other fun things that are happening right now. So let me go ahead and switch over and introduce myself, and then we'll get to talking about these games. Hi there. So my name is Lynna Sutherland, homeschooling mama to 7, and our family is big into board games. So we've been sharing some of our favorite board games tonight. And I shared a little while ago Zitternix with my 3-year-old. And now I'm here to talk with my 4-year-old about The Secret Door and Stone Soup. And if you would like to meet up with me online, you can find me on Instagram at hswotrainingwls. That's also my page on Facebook. And then my blog is a really long title, which you can find linked from Facebook or from Instagram, homeschoolingwithoutthetrainingwheels.blogspot.com. Hey there, Antonia. It's good to see you. So I'm talking tonight about 2 board games. Hey, Liz! Yay! Sharing some board games. So this is my son, Henry. Henry, how old are you? 4. And so we're going to be talking about 2 different matching games. Now, I'm sure that you guys have played... Oh, good, I'm glad. I'm sure that you guys have played matching games before. But these 2 board games give kind of an interesting twist on matching games. The 2 things that are interesting about these is, first of all, that you are working cooperatively. They're both cooperative games. So you're not really competing against each other. You're really working together to accomplish a goal. And so therefore, if you're going to work together rather than against each other, you have to have some kind of thing that you're competing against. So let me show you this first game. It's called Stone Soup. And it is made by a company. It's a cooperative game, as it says up in there in the corner. And it's made by a company called Peaceable Kingdom. And Peaceable Kingdom makes a lot of cooperative games. So this says it's for ages 5+, but Henry is 4, and he's been playing it for a while. So I'm going to blog later this week about the ages on board games and how to kind of interpret those specifically for your family. Oh no! So what do you do, Liz? What do you do when your kids fight during cooperative games? Like they fight over who takes a turn, or they fight over what? Like who gets to make the winning move, or... Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? In my mind, all of these board games, like, of course we want to have fun, and of course we want to enjoy the board game, but I mean, half of the benefit is just the like human interaction piece, right? Like just how to be happy for other people when they win, how to take turns, how to cheer people on when they're doing better than you are, like all of these little bits and pieces of life that happen in lots of ways, but in board games too. They want to make decisions. Yes, right. Okay, so I blogged about this earlier this week, but a lot of children's board games, or not a lot, but some children's board games, like, say, Chutes and Ladders and Candyland, there's really not a lot of decision-making to do. Like, you could almost just play the game all by yourself and move the pieces, and there's really no decision-making to happen. But, yeah. So, and we definitely have plenty of games that are competitive, so we're not necessarily opposed to that, but this is just an interesting variation, a different mechanic on the matching game. We have some matching games. I do like these. Peaceable Kingdom has really nice quality components too. They're really sturdy. They're cardboard, so they're not too easy to like bend or damage. Good stuff. So the way that you play Stone Soup is that you set up all of your cards here on the board, like you would lay out a matching game. And then what you've got in the game are pairs of foods that would go in a soup. And then you've also got a bunch of fire out cards. And so you're basically racing against the game itself. So if you flip over a fire out card, it goes down here. And if you find a match of 2 foods, then it goes in the pot. And what you want to do is to fill up the pot with all of the foods before the fire goes out, right? It's pretty straightforward. So you just take turns and hopefully you find a match and put it in the pot instead of getting a fire out card, and the fire goes out. And then we have another game that's really a similar thing, except Okay, yes, so stone soup, and I think we've had this for a while. I think it may have even have come with the story of stone soup. And if it doesn't come with it, then definitely we read it to them to tell them the story of stone soup. Right. So you're right. It is based on that story about, the rough outline of the story is that all of these people are in this town and nobody will share their food. And so, this old woman in the town says, well, I'll make soup for everyone then. I'll make a soup with a stone. And then, she says, and you know what? It'd be really great if we could just have some mushrooms along with that. And does anyone have any onions? And before you know it, there's a whole soup for everyone in the town to share. So, yes, that's another fun thing about it is that it's based on a story. So you could read the story and then play the game. Okay, now, this game is called The Secret Door. And this is a similar gameplay, similar idea. It's made by a company called Family Pastimes. And this company, I feel like if it was just the components of the game, I probably would be not really happy with it because the cards, we laminated them, but I mean, they were really just kind of like thin pieces of cardboard. Right, Henry? Yeah. Yeah, they were kind of thin, weren't they? And some of the pieces, one of them has already been bent, which I feel like it's a big bummer for a matching game when one of the pieces bends because, I mean, that kind of, now you know what that piece is, right? So, but, however, what I love about this company is that it's just this little company. It's up in Ontario, Canada, and I believe that the way they manufacture their games is that they do printings in the summer and they hire high school students or, I'm not sure, but anyway, right, I know, bent card, and then it's kind of like, well, it's no more secret what that one is. So this is kind of like stone soup. You want to show him, Henry? Want to show him the board where you're racing against the game by accident? Yeah, quote unquote, by accident. So Henry, tell him what's up at the top there. What's at the top of? Wait a minute, let me get it in focus a little bit. What's up at the top of the board?
Well, on the top of the board, well, it's some treasure boxes.
Well, I mean, way up at the top, right at the top edge. What do you see all there at the top edge?
Well, if you get a clock, you put it right here on the top.
If you get a clock, you have to put it up there on the clock, right? And why?
If you get it all the way over to here, then you lost.
You've lost the game, that's right, because the clocks are representing that time is going by, and so you have a time limit, right? So do you want to find clocks or do you not want to find clocks?
Well, sometimes, it's kind of, well, if I lost, sometimes I say, kind of clocky or something.
It's kind of clocky if you lost?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. But if you're flipping over cards, would you say to yourself, I hope I find a clock? Or would you say to yourself, I hope I don't find a clock?
I would say, I hope I don't find a clock.
Exactly. You don't want to find the clocks. So what you do want to find are these treasures, and they're all in pairs. So for every treasure, and the treasures are shown at the bottom of the board.
So, if you match, you'd say that, oh, was there the king one with the crown?
Is it flipped upside down? Maybe it's one of those ones that's upside down. You think? Yeah, there it is.
Okay. So you'd say that the two ones. So
okay, let's tell them about these dots. So what you do, you know what, Henry? Let's pause for a minute and tell them how to set up the game, and then you can explain to them what happens when you play it. So what you do is you have 12 clock cards, and you separate those clock cards out separately from the treasure cards, right? Yeah. Right, Henry? Okay. And then you flip all the treasure cards upside down. So help me do that. Flip them upside down. Flip them upside down.
Yeah, and then one of them are bent.
Yeah, one of them is bent. I know. It's a kind of a bummer, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you mixy, right, Henry? So we don't know what they are. And then this is the secret door.
So you put one of them in here.
You put 3. Yeah, you take 3 of your treasures.
Yeah, you put 3 of them in here.
In here. And then what do you do with this?
Well, you kind of, put it on.
You put it on. Okay, so 3 treasures are hidden behind the secret door. And robbers, it's because robbers have come and they've stolen that secret treasure. And they're going to make away with that treasure, with those 3 items of treasure, by midnight. And so you have to discover what treasures have been stolen by midnight and make your guess as to which treasures have been stolen. So then you take all the rest of these and you take all of your clock cards. You mix those all in as well. Mixy, 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 right, Henry? And then we're going to put them all on the white dots.
Yeah, and the other thing you can't do is you can't pick which one you want to do.
You can't look at the cards when you're placing them. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's see. It says ages 5 to 8. So again, Henry is 4, and he's not had any difficulty playing with this. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out like how exactly they decide what ages a board game is appropriate for. And maybe it's just because we do a lot of gaming in our family that our kids are able to be comfortable with it a little earlier. But anyway, so short version is you just mix all your clocks in and you place all of your all of the cards on these little white dots. I don't know if you can see on the board. There's little white dots right when older kids are playing. Yeah, and I also put some tips on the blog yesterday about how to involve littler kids, even if the game is technically too hard for them. Some suggestions about how to let them kind of team play with you and things that they can do as a part of your turn, even if they're really too young to make decisions on their own. Okay, so one of the things we love about this game, exactly, co-op play with, with the cooperative games. So if you see, like, these are rooms in the mansion. And so what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to remember where things are, right? So let's say you turn over a treasure. Okay, so here's this picture, and I found it on the bed. And so we try to tell ourselves stories. We say, like, oh, she took the picture down and she hid it under the end of her bed. And then we use those stories to help us remember where the picture is, so that if we come across the other one, then we'll remember, like, oh, this one, the mouse discovered this treasure in a puddle in the cellar, or this one was in the treasure chest up in the attic. So, it's not just a memory game, but it also kind of becomes a story telling game too. So what you want to do is, as you make pairs, you put the pairs down here at the bottom, and then hopefully before midnight, you're able to use process of elimination to, fun. Oh, wow, all the way up to 74. That is wonderful. Yeah, we've had family game nights where we have my parents and aunt and uncle and my grandparents, and that's been really, really fun. So definitely gaming is something that can be enjoyable by many generations, which is really a blessing and great, great memories. So anyway, so you want to eliminate all the pairs you find so that eventually you'll be able to make a guess about what's behind the door. And so you're able to say, well, we've only seen one, crown, and we never have seen the other crown, so I think the crown must be one of the things that's behind the door. And so when you're ready to make your guess, you guess what you think is behind the door, and then you flip over the cards and you take a look. And were you right? And if you're right, then you've saved those treasures. And if you're wrong, then, the bandits made off with the treasure. So, Henry, do you like this game?
Yeah, I like it, but you see those circles?
Yes.
That's where you put the pieces. So let's say that if there's no thing over here,
okay,
then that would be like kind of cheating, but it's really like, it's kind of, sometimes I think it's like sometimes I think it's sometimes I think that the thieves didn't steal any of the treasure when there's nothing.
If you forgot to put anything under there, then yes, it's kind of like they didn't know what to steal. They didn't steal anything. Okay, I believe that we found this one on Amazon. See, this is the thing about board games. There are so many wonderful board games that are totally not the kind of thing that you're going to find on the shelf at, say, Target or Walmart. Target a little bit is starting to carry some really wonderful board games, and also Barnes & Nobles has started to carry some too, although they're extremely expensive from Barnes & Nobles. But exactly, on Amazon is where we really like to shop for games. Now, occasionally there'll be things that we're looking for that we can't find on Amazon, but for the most part, Amazon is the way to go. So we definitely have a wish list there. And yes, gift cards to Barnes & Nobles, that too. So that's just a little summary overview. Like I said, these are both cooperative games, and the mechanic is very similar in both. It's basically, the mechanic is it's a matching game, but rather than competing against each other, you're sort of racing against time. Here you're wanting to not let the fire go out, and here you're wanting to guess what the treasure is exactly. It's like a memory game. It's just a memory game with a twist. So here you're wanting to guess what treasures are hidden behind the door before midnight. Yes, and they are really fun. This one especially, it's really not hard, even for my husband and I, to engage in this game and to enjoy it and play it with the kids. It's one of those games where, when they say, let's play this, you don't go, okay, all right, let's do it. You say, oh, yeah, that'd be fun. And honestly, for me, as a mama, a homeschool mama, when it comes to the end of the day, I don't often have the brain power to play like grown-up games that involve a lot of analysis and decision-making. So sometimes these really are right up my alley. It's fun, it's light, the kids enjoy it, and it involves some thinking and some decision-making, but not like analysis paralysis. Yeah, I know. So Henry, is it just about time for you to go to bed?
Aren't we going to start playing the real game?
Yes, we're going to play the real game in just a minute. Do you want to say goodbye to the viewers? And thank you for watching? Thank you for watching. They say bye, Henry. You want to wave? Bye.